Hi everyone, so today I filmed a video on this makeup look, which is very quick and very easy to do. I use not a lot of products, and they're products that you can easily get a hold of, and you don't even have to use the ones I use. Use what works for your skin and what works best for you. However, I just find that these are easy to work with and they're very comfortable. So it was about like 90 degrees today, and this look lasted me all day, and it was very glowy, and it has a very hydrating sense to your skin. Oh, what does that even mean? Hi everyone. Hi everyone. So this look is pretty much a base for most makeup. However, I decided to wear it out today, and I really like the way it looks because it doesn't cover up all my imperfections, but it just kind of blurs everything. And sometimes that like thick makeup look is a little much, especially when I'm going out with my family or whatever. And I found that this was pretty much a natural everyday look I could go for, especially for people who don't want to wear a lot of makeup or have enough time to kind of put all of that makeup on. So I would also like to add, sorry, I thought I was going to burp, that before I put my makeup on, I washed my face and I put moisturizer on it, because I find that moisturizing my skin before applying products to it really makes a difference, and it makes your makeup go on a lot smoother, and it does make it look more natural, because without that moisturizer and that moisture in there, it can get kind of dusty and crack off a little bit. And I do have dry skin. I tend to have drier skin. So that's what I did to prep my skin before I applied my primer. So do whatever works for your skin. Whatever works for you works for me. And I hope that you enjoy. Okay, so last minute I decided that I wanted to do a voiceover instead of put my voice in from the video, because it didn't make sense and it was really weird. But basically I'm going in and I'm priming right now with my Morphe M404 brush and my Hangover RX primer. You can use a sponge, you can use your hands, you can really use whatever works for you, whatever you're more comfortable with. But I just opted to go in with this brush because I find that it spreads the product really nicely, and I like the results. So next I go in with my Glossier Skin Tint, which I kind of use as a color corrector or a face neutralizer. Now you could wear this just on its own, or you could put foundation on top. My mom loves this stuff as a foundation. It's very light and it's very natural, and it's super comfortable. So I just put it on before my foundation to kind of eliminate some of that redness and smooth just over some of my skin and some of my imperfections. And I just go in with my hands. I just make sure they're clean before I'm rubbing it all over my face. But yeah, that's my next step after I prime. And the point of this priming is that your makeup sticks to your face and it has kind of a more natural base. Okay, so once your skin tint is applied and your primer is applied, you can choose whether or not you'd like to go on top with foundation, or if you would like to just skip those steps and go onto your concealer. I chose to go on with foundation because I had just gotten a sample of my Fenty Beauty foundation, and I was so excited to use it. So I put it on with a very damp beauty blender for sheer coverage, just because that's what I was looking for. I didn't want a lot of product on my skin. So I went in and I put my Fenty Beauty on, and it's so by no means do I have perfect skin. Oftentimes I see YouTubers who are putting makeup on skin that already looks like it has makeup on. But in this video, I really wasn't worried about covering all my bumps and little red spots, because I was fine with having it out. However, if you were to want to cover those, I would suggest using a more matte finish with maybe a dense brush. But I went in with my beauty blender because it does give me a dewier, more natural finish, and it kind of soaks up a lot of that excess product, whereas a brush would allow you to pack more on top. So it's really up to you and your preference. So one of my favorite techniques for a natural look is using the same beauty blender for both foundation and concealer without rinsing any of the product. And I find that this gives it a much more seamless blend and a much more natural finish. It hides a lot of rough edges and harsh lines. And this is just a technique I kind of thought of myself through trial and error, and I hope it works. The key to using a beauty blender is making sure that it is damp when you use it and bouncing it. Now when I contour, I use a Real Technique sponge and I kind of pull the cream into the direction where I'm trying to go. But when it comes to foundation, I really do enjoy using my Beauty Blender. So at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm talking about contour. And what I do with my contour is I do 4 lines. 4 lines for my cream contour, and I went in with my Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Cafe number 30. And when I say contour, people freak out, and you'll probably turn the video off or whatever, but it's so easy, and if I could choose one beauty technique to do for the rest of my life without anything else, it'd always be contour. I have a chubby face. Yeah, everybody knows my face is shaped like an egg. So I love using a contour. And it's really easy if you think about it. So I'm trying to like figure out how to edit this video. So I'm just kind of awkwardly sitting here watching myself talk. I don't even remember what I was talking about. But I go in with my cream contour and I blend it out with a wet beauty sponge. So next I set my contour using a powdered bronzer, and my favorite bronzer at the moment is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I got this from CVS for like $11 or $14, somewhere between there, and I apply it with just an angled contour bronzing brush. However, you can use whatever you want. I kind of switch it up every time, but this has been my ride or die brush for a long time now. And I just go right over the areas where I put cream, and I kind of blend it out. It's almost like a 3 shape, because I go on my forehead, I go on my cheeks, and I go on my chin. If you get nervous about contouring, blend. Literally anybody can contour. Anybody. And people get freaked out and they seem like it's like such a crazy thing, but it's very simple. You go in the shape of a 3 and you just blend it out until you like the way it looks. Everybody has a different taste for contour. So once your contour is on, it's kind of up to you to change how it looks. When you bake, that's kind of where you figure out how intense your contour is going to be or not. Because you can make a sharp contoured edge if you put a lot of powder and let it sit for a while, or you can make it really soft. Now for my natural everyday look, I just kind of set my cream contour with the powder, blended it out, and I was good to go. I really didn't wear that much powder. So I just basically realized that my blush and highlight wasn't filmed. Now I didn't do eyebrows and I didn't do eyeshadow today just because I had gotten my eyebrows done and I really didn't feel the need to sit and do a lot. So at this part in my video, I'm just kind of cleaning up my contour with a little bit of setting powder, and then I'm going to go in with blush. Okay, so I'm basically an idiot, and somehow my blush and my highlight wasn't filmed. But that's okay because it's really simple, and it's kind of up to your own style how you do it. But a little tip I have is going in with the same brush I use for bronzer for blush. I go in with my Laura Geller Pink Buttercream Baked Blush and Brighten. And this is cool because it has bronzer, highlight, and a few shades of pink in there. And what I do is I just cover it on my brush and swipe it over the apples of my cheeks. After I do that is when I would apply my highlight. This is weird, it's an unpopular opinion, but I went in with my Haloscope by Glossier highlight, and I applied it to the tops of my cheeks and patted it in with my finger because I really don't like a lot of highlight for a natural look. And once it's applied, you go in with any type of big fluffy brush. This is my Sonia Kashuk Knockout Beauty Brush, and you blend it out till you get kind of a finished seamless look, if that's what you're going for. I know it's what I was going for. You can't see it because I'm filming it on my photo booth, but I was so excited. I thought I was doing so good, but of course, no, nothing ever works out. So anyways, that's kind of how you finish it off. I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm not doing my eyebrows and I'm not doing eyeshadow. A tip for eyeshadow for an everyday look is cream contour. I love using a bronzed eyeshadow for an everyday look. So I would take like my, yeah? Yeah, sure. Okay. Here I come. So anyways, my tip would be my Kim Kardashian contour stick. I don't like it. I've used it 3 times. Or no. Hi, thanks.
Who are you talking to?
I'm making a beauty tutorial. So, I've used it 4 times. No, 3 times, and I do 4 lines with it, and it is already practically finished. That's 12 swipes, and that's all I have left of the product. So now I would just apply it to the tip of my finger and tap it onto my lid and blend it out. Well, there you go. That's probably why, because I wasted it. And I blend it out, and I really like the way it looks. It's kind of like a natural. Honestly, you can't really tell that you have it on, but it adds something. It's one of those things that you notice, but people don't really notice. But yeah, so that's how I'd finish it off. And then I went in with my Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara that I got yesterday, and it had fallout. It had a lot of flaking last night at the bowling alley when I was out for a birthday. However, I was rubbing it, so it could have been my fault, so I have to give it a few more tries. But I did wear it today, and I didn't see an issue with it. So whatever mascara you choose to use. And I finish lips with my any type of chapstick. My personal favorite is Chapstick Cherry. And then I go in with my e.l.f. lip and cheek color in Grapefruit and tap it onto my lips. You can't see any color in this camera. Oh, I'm so pissed. However, that's just what I do. I would just tap it onto my lips and blend it out, and it gives you a really nice pink, and it's really cute. And then you set it however you wish, and you can go in and contour your nose. I chose not to today just because I didn't feel like it. But you would take an eyeshadow brush, dip it in your bronzer, and kind of blend it outward, and it does make a difference, and it's really pretty. I think it's cute. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. This is my first one, and it'll probably be seen by Carly, Maddie, Julia, Danielle, Mare, Grace Larrabee, and Izzy, and that's probably about it. But I was super excited, and I wish so badly that it worked out at the end, but I'm gonna keep trying to do good. And I'm gonna be famous one day probably, so people will like look back on this video and be like, haha, it's so funny. But I'm proud of myself, and I hope you enjoy. It's not high glam, and usually I would wear more than this. Anybody that knows me knows I would. But a lot of my girlfriends said, I don't wear a lot of makeup, I don't have a lot of makeup like you do. That was like a humble brag, but it wasn't supposed to be. It's just like a general thing that I have a little bit too much. But this is for anybody who wants to wear a little something. You can dress it up for a date. This is about as dressed down as it gets. This is a very basic thing, but you can always go up from here. So, if you want to see more, let me know.